All right, what is going on, everybody? Got a little bit of wind today. I hope it isn't too breezy on my mic, but if it is, I appreciate you hanging out and suffering through it. So today, what I want to check in with you guys on is a topic that is very open-ended, and it applies to literally everything, but you guys may not be aware of this, even though you're involved in it. And what I'm talking about today is you are an influencer, even when you're not trying to be. And basically what that means is everything that you do impacts others. And it impacts yourself as well, obviously, but the people that are around you get a consequence. Sometimes positive, sometimes negative, but there's an extra effect that goes out to the people that are around you based on what you do in your world. And so that's what I want to chat with you guys today, is that we are... Oh, this is like struggling. Okay. We are in a world of information, okay? And the speed of information exchange these days is so fast. Right now, you are hearing me live in the moment. This isn't recorded. This isn't something that, has been around a long time and you're finally hearing it. This is me in the moment. So if you're here live watching this right now, put a hashtag live in there for me. But this is that representation of how fast influence happens. And what happens is you get to decide how you want to interact in the day. You get to decide what your schedule is, who your engagement circle of influence is, what job you do, what stores you shop at. Like, you get to make all these decisions about how you interact in the world. And when you go into those interaction points, the activities that you go through and the words that you say and the emotion you evoke influences those around you. Now, again, it's up to them to choose what they take out of that. But it's like that saying, once you see it, you can't unsee it. So even when you're not trying to influence people, even if they're not looking for your words of influence and wisdom or impact of any kind, it's still going to happen. You can't stop it. So kids are a fantastic example of this. I say stuff to my kids all the time. And I say something to them, and they barely respond. I'm like, hey, did you hear what I just said to you? They said yes. I said, repeat back to me what I said. Maybe they could tell me, maybe they can't. Depends on how really, focused they are in the moment. But later on, it always comes back as like, hey, remember when you said this, Dad? Like, oh, dang, I thought you weren't even paying attention. I was trying to get you to parrot back what I was talking about. And so, guys, understand that every action you take has an equal and opposite reaction, right? This is Newton's law of physics. And we're talking about just physical stuff, but the mental game goes into it even farther. The influence that you have is so powerful that we don't understand how powerful it is. It's within our control, yet uncontrollable. We get to decide what it is that we put out, but we don't get to decide how that's received. So working on your influence means working on yourself. And that's what's really important here today, guys, is understanding the things that you get to choose as the activities you go through on a daily basis and what you think about, and that vocal expression and the emotion and energy you bring to the room and to the situation that you're in cannot be ignored. It cannot be reverted away from. It will have impact on the people that you are around. So you need to be very aware of this power that you have. When you're in a situation, whether it's the first time or you're an expert, you're going to have influence on the other people involved in that situation. And so every single time you get to have influence, take advantage. Interact with people. Rob Stern and Franklin, good to see you guys. So we're talking about influence today. You guys are some influencers. I know who's in the room right now. So what we're talking about is taking advantage of those opportunities where you get to control the outward portion. You don't get to control the intake. How people respond to your stuff is not up to you, okay? You don't get to determine the action or the results from your actions. You only get to decide the actions you take. And so today, right now, I decided to go for a walk. I already decided this a long time ago. I do this regularly, but I get to decide every single day. Even though I made the decision last night and the day before and whatever, when it comes time to take the action, boom, I got to make the choice in the moment, right? And so, yes, fantastic. Everyone influences at least one person, some, many. What will you do with that influence? And that's exactly what we're talking about, Rob, is regardless of whether you like it or not, you play a part in other people's worlds based on how you operate yours. And that's what we're controlling, is the structure around not only the events and the activities that we schedule and the jobs that we do and the social events that we're involved in and the friends that we keep and the things that we listen to and watch. And we get to control those activities, and we get to choose what it is that we take in. We get to choose who we get influenced by. And that influence that we take in is then reverted back out as how we experience the world and how we share it with other people around us. So I want to challenge you guys a little bit today, because this is easy to get away from, and it's so easy not to do. But think about one of the people in your world that you may have influenced without actually knowing about it until later on when they came back to tell you. And I wanted to share this with you guys because this was powerful for me. I do all kinds of personal development. If you guys have been around me for a minute, you probably heard one of my lives like this. You know, I'm out here in the world saying these things, but I don't realize my own impact sometimes. So I want to share a little story with you guys because this hit me hard. And this is something you might relate to. If you guys feel this, please, hit some hearts in the bottom here. Last week, I was out here doing a Facebook Live, and I was talking about how the way that you show up speaks before you say anything. All right, so the energy and the motion and the presence you bring to a situation announces you before words come out, okay? And so I talked about this. If you guys want to check this out, you can go look at my previous live streams. But after I did that, I went home and I was doing my thing, and my mom called me. Out of all people, my mom calls me all the time, but she called me from work to thank me. I said, what are you talking about? She's like, I listened to your Facebook Live today, and it actually helped me get through a situation that I was at work struggling with. My first question is, why are you listening to my Facebook Lives at work? But I'm glad she is. She's hearing my content. She likes what I'm talking about. And so having her relay back to me that what I told her during a thing that I wasn't directing at her, it was just information, but she was able to internalize that because she was someone in the way of that information. She got in front of it, however, and took it the way that it impacted her. And she was able to immediately, instantly apply that to a situation in the moment that day. And she came out of it with such a better attitude. Such a better outcome came because of the influence that I put on her that I didn't even know was going to her. So guys, what I want you to realize, the people that are around you, I don't care if you're single, live by yourself, you're a hermit. Okay? You still have impact. Sometimes it's just smaller. But the people that you're around, Mr. Carey, good to see you. The people that you're around absorb parts of who you are. You can't stop that release of energy. You can't stop the words coming out. It's natural. And you can't stop them from receiving it. The only part that you get to control is deciding your output. And this is the magic of it, guys. What are you about? What do you focus on? What's your schedule look like? What is the plan of events on your calendar? Because if you don't have that set up, your influence is random. You're not actually controlling it. And here's where you guys really got to take control of this. You have to step up in your own control over the influence you have on yourself. And this is the biggest piece of what I'm going to tell you guys today. You don't get to control any of the outside exception of your influence. But the feelings, the words, the actions, the emotion impacts you more than anybody else. This is so, it's weird. We talk to ourselves all the time. It's called internal monologue. Okay? We have words going on in our head all the time. And we have the ability to hear ourselves speak. We say things and we hear it ourselves. Now that's like a crazy, conundrum, but once you understand how powerful this message is, this is called daily affirmations. Have you ever seen, I don't remember the name of the movie in the moment, but it is Stuart Smalley. And Stuart Smalley sits in the front of the mirror and he says, I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and gosh darn it, people like me. Okay? Now, there's nobody else in the room. He's talking to the mirror. He's obviously talking to himself on purpose. But this is with the understanding that the subconscious hears the message regardless of who it comes from in the exact same way. Okay, you get to choose how much you influence yourself. So the stuff that you do, the things that you're involved in, the thoughts that you have, the emotion you put out, the words that you say affect you more than anybody else. Because you know what's going on behind the scenes with the creation of those words, thoughts, emotions, all that stuff. You get the double-sided advantage of knowing the duration, knowing the creation station from that. Where's this all coming from? Why am I saying these things? Why am I feeling this way? And when you focus in the moment, you become consciously aware of what the hell is creating this output. Then you can actually understand the factors that are making things happen and how you can control what the next output comes about like. All right, so this is important, guys. And if you don't understand this, please hit me up. Please leave me a comment like, dude, can we chat about this? Because I'm good with that. But I want you guys to understand the influence on yourself. Your conscious choices influence your subconscious understanding, and that evolution of not controlling your actions and feeling like everything just happens to you. That's garbage. Stuff happens in the world, and yes, you don't control most of it, but you do get to control how you respond to it consciously. And so if you structure yourself every day with this intention of putting as many factors into your day that allow you to stay in control and do the things that are going to help you improve in the way that you want to, the more you will start to create an automatic subconscious response that makes that just the natural way you do stuff. So I'll give you a couple examples. I'm just going to continue my walk here, but we are biologically made up. Our bodies all work about the same way. Now, some of us have a little bit different body types. I'm a bigger dude. I would not call myself a mesomorph, but I'm sort of a in between. And some people are skinnier, some people are bigger bone, whatever you want to call it. But at the end of the day, everyone needs to eat healthy. Everyone needs to get exercise and drink water and sleep well and do all these things to improve our body. All right. But what happens is some people focus on these things a little bit more, and they put a structure together that they follow with an unwavering commitment. And they do the things on a daily. I go out and I walk every day. It's not like I walk the exact same amount, or I walk the same path, or at the same speed, or talk about the same things, or listen to the same music, or whatever. So there's a difference that comes into it, but every single day I get out here and I do my thing because I've scheduled this. And now that I've scheduled it enough times and I've done it enough times, my subconscious expects it to happen. If I don't get up and walk now, first thing in the morning, because this is what I've done for so long, if I don't do that, my subconscious is off all day. I feel weird. I have this unsettled emotion inside of me that's like, I just need to get out and hit that walk. I know it's not the right time, but my body doesn't feel it. My mind doesn't feel it. I'm not focused. I'm missing a piece of me, okay? And we get okay with that after a while. Once we've done stuff in an unscattered manner for so long, we get used to it. We get used to that daily struggle of just like survival. I'm in the moment. I'm reactive. I'm going to do whatever I can to get through this minute. It's okay. You can make it through life that way. But the strive for improvement does not come unless you focus on the scheduling of events. And that's the first step, guys, is understanding what you want that influence to be on yourself. Because when you take events into your schedule and you start taking actions, what you got to understand is most people don't see it. Nobody really knows how much I walk unless I tell you guys. I end up like 3, 4, 5 miles a day just because that's the regular routine of what I've gotten used to now. But I do it at 5:30 in the morning most of the time on purpose so there's no one there. I don't want to have to deal with people and dodge traffic and put my sunglasses on because it's sunny outside. I like to just get out and do my walk and enjoy myself. But when you guys do this, it's going to be weird because it's new. Any new thing is going to be something you're not used to. So it's going to be uncomfortable. So understand that this influence on yourself is a strive for uncomfort. You want that discomfort to happen on purpose because that means you know you're growing. The only way to grow is to change. You can't have progress doing the same thing that you've been doing. And so if you want to influence yourself, you want to change the way that you think and make choices and respond in the moment, you have to become consciously aware of the factors that are involved in helping you progress to where you want to be. So if you want to get healthier, you got to move. You got to eat healthy. It's not that complicated of a process, but it's something that takes consistent repetition of choice over and over and over. And those choices are what leads to the actions that you take, guys. So if you don't start with the schedule, you don't decide what factors you want to be involved in and what things you want to do on a regular basis, you'll never actually take the actions. You'll just react in the moment, which is a subconscious response based on how you've already done things in the past. And if you continue that reactive state, you're going to continue to get what you got right now. So guys, understand, working on yourself, working on your focus, working on your physical condition, working on your mental game, working on the awareness of how you express yourself outward is one of the most important factors, and it is the foundational piece that will allow you to start controlling the influence that you have on others. Because guys, look at it this way. If you're frustrated with something, that frustration comes out, and whoever is around you gets that wrath. All right? So the worst version of you is going to come out as the worst influence for other people around you. And so if you control having the best version of you available as much as possible, then you give that best version to everyone around you. And they deserve the best version of you. And so do you. You deserve the best version of yourself. So guys, really, seriously, take a minute. Maybe it takes 5 minutes. I don't really care. The time frame is irrelevant. Time does actually not even exist. Carrie, you know what I'm talking about. But take a little bit of time, whatever it takes, to sit down and plan out at least one thing, okay? One thing that you're going to sit down and dedicate to yourself that'll help you improve and go in the direction that you want to go. All right, one action step. It doesn't have to be the plan. It doesn't have to be, if you're trying to make a 2 Comma Club award or something, it doesn't have to be, every step and every ad and how your funnel works and God, it's too many things, okay? Change has to be small and it has to be repetitive. My walks, I don't kill myself. I don't analyze every step I'm going to take on my walk before I walk. Actually, while I'm doing these lives, I don't even really pay attention to where I'm going. I'm just talking to you guys and walking. And so the biggest benefit of this, though, is because I do it over and over and over and over and over. Because I know this consistent movement has those benefits for me, not only physically, but my mental game's better. I love getting out in the sun. I get to talk to you guys. Like, it's a great opportunity for me to really stay consistent in the improvement of myself. And that influence automatically extends to everybody who is around me and gets access to whatever it is that I'm putting out as that influence, all right? So guys, please take a few minutes today. Find one thing in your life that you can start to do today, like not tomorrow, not next week. If it's important, you don't wait. That's why I hate New Year's resolutions. People are waiting until it's January 1st. Man, if it's October and you're fat, stop eating crap and let's do some things for that. Don't wait till January and say, oh, the date is what's important. It's irrelevant. Doing the thing today is what is actually going to make you different tomorrow. If you wait till tomorrow, that result doesn't come till the next day. So start today. Find one thing that you can add to your daily routine, not like sometimes. Because the things that we do once in a while have little impact. The things that we do consistently have the same amount of impact, but it's exponentially grown when you add to the impact from before. So if I only walk once a week, I'm not building any momentum in my body. I'm not doing anything that's really going to be noticeable, but that little walk every day is going to burn some more calories. It's going to strengthen my muscles. It's going to boost my immune system. It's going to improve my digestion. It's going to do a whole bunch of stuff for me. And that over and over and over, 2 + 2 is not 4, right? 1 + 1 = 7 in this equation. So that's what I want you guys to understand is these daily actions that we take over and over and over begin to influence ourselves. And it influences the way that we make decisions and what we prioritize as the things that we have to get done. It goes from a should to a must. That's a Tony Robbins thing. I did not make that up, but this is what really has to happen for you guys to start making change in your own world. And you can't help improve anybody else unless you're striving to improve yourself. All right. So guys, please let me know if this is something that resonates with you. If you have questions on this, please leave me a comment. Again, if you're live, hit that hashtag live in the comments. If it's a replay, man, you're way too late. No, I'm just kidding. Add me a replay. I appreciate you guys, and we will see you next time.